There was on the coverage for that game, and he tweeted about that, and that was incredible insight from him. But yeah, I don't think we'll quite see it. But
we'll see.
You can see. Even I imagine, I talk about how LGD were maybe doting on the matchup. I don't know. Maybe Spirit also having something to play for here, so maybe they've got a point to prove. They're coming in as the team that has been underperforming. They've got LGD literally winning pretty much everything in China to the point where they can say we don't need to play these tiebreakers. Right. Whereas for Spirit, you're completely right. They needed those points. Maybe that'll be the difference maker for them.
Maybe it will. And we just saw everyone's favorite spray in the game, Jingqiu. Just checking his settings, making sure everything's picture perfect, because the man is a beast. He is, in my opinion, the best POS 4 in the world still.
Okay, I mean, that's high praise, but I think that's fair enough. Most players tell me the same thing, so I think you're onto something. And let's go a little bit more in depth into that. Let's go into their playstyles, right? If we are going to define teams by certain playstyles,
prepare for battle.
On my way. Desolator. Blink dagger. So be it. Daedalus. Interesting. That. It's not time. It's not time yet.
Ways.
First blood. There's nothing more mysterious until it happens.
On your own time.
So it is with
Killing spree! Triple kill!
readily.
Good day to fight.
That is clear. In pursuit of the mysteries. You'll never know the mysteries. This requires.
Double kill!
Death was a secret.
Unstoppable! Triple kill! Wicked sick! Ultra kill! Forward! Master kill! Rampage! Holy shit! Rampage!
Secretly, I admired you. Revolutions. Clues to follow.
Holy shit! Rampage! Holy shit!
So I will cook.
Hardest to zone, save Ponyo's life a little while longer, and now Ponyo just sacrifices himself. As for the Death Prophet to go out and be able to safely reset. Puck also able to get away with it.
Yeah, I agree. Let's hop onto the Rift here, get into game number 2. All right, here we are. Once again, the FPX skin to come through for Keen. It's his favorite one, and does look pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
It's very sexy, and the logo looks very nice in the Cannon Barrage.
I'm a spooky Gangplank kind of guy.
That was one of my go-tos back in the day. I was a very bad Gangplank.
5 seconds
It was
remaining.
really saw with like TI-8 OG, for example, where they would win a team fight and then they would get one extra hero at the end of it that's trying to retreat. So I think that's heavily on the back of people like Toronto Tokyo, as well as Collapse. I think maybe that's the area that they've been lacking in these past few months. Obviously, not topping the Eastern European DPC for the last little bit.
We have a draft now. To add to that point, actually, I want to talk about the one thing that everyone talked about in Team Spirit at TI was the vision game. Probably the most impeccable vision game we've ever seen. Miposhka, you were praising him as actually the best player in Team Spirit at TI.
Yes, I agree. Like, Collapse, he just... It was this, like... utopia, basically, of like everything came together at the right point. Magnus, who was just way too good. Like his Mars, etc., is fantastic as well. But it was Miposhka that won them that TI. He was the more experienced head. He was the one leading them in game. He was the one providing all of that great vision. And again, the spellcasting really set him apart.
And Richie, there's the Winter Wyvern banned by LGD. We're talking about this a lot on FCA panel. The 3 heroes that deal with the BKBs, the Warlock, Wyvern, Enigma. That trifecta of really strong heroes that started to pop up. Do you feel like the Warlock is an option for Team Spirit here?
I do, yeah. I mean, they played it yesterday even. Like I said, in their match versus Deep Boosters, they played it with the safe lane punch. I don't know if necessarily that's going to be the combo we're going to end up seeing.
Oh, what a combo, yeah.
Yeah,
Heal, hook. Oh, wow.
I mean, come on now. Upheaval level 1 into hook. Don't knock it. Don't knock it and rot. I mean, who knows, right?
I'm a little surprised LGD didn't go ahead and pick up the Warlock, because that's the thing that they've been first picking constantly throughout the DPC. They've picked it like 8 times through their matches that they've played so far. But Razor pretty high up the priority list as well. It might even force Team Spirit to go that Warlock themselves, because if they don't, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Warlock on the last pick of the first phase for LGD.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a bit surprised as well. Maybe they really value the Razor, right? You only get the 4 bans. We got to take away the Tiny, the Puck, the Monkey, the Wyvern, one of these impactful heroes.
Might see a Bane for Spirit. They still need that BKB piercing disable.
Well, there's Clock, and there's, of course, the Viper.
That's the EU special.
This is a 5 Viper as well for Team Spirit. They love playing it on Miposhka. Like, that is his one. He just wants to try and bully out this Razor. Again, make sure he's not able to have that great early game, because this isn't... it's not an Arme hero. It's not a nothing to say hero. I say that. He's played it once, the Razor mid, but this is Chalice. They want to enable Chalice as much as possible. And really, now with a Warlock, what Team Spirit have done is they might not have been able to pick it themselves, but do you want to be a Warlock into a Clockwork? Probably not. Like, Clockwork is just able to absolutely demolish you.
Like you mentioned of Chalice's Razor, because Chalice, the Razor now very associated to Amar, the major win, and Amar being that win condition offlaner that we've gone to, the greedy offlaner, right? Yep. But the original guy was actually Chalice who was doing that play. He was the first offlaner to switch to carry and actually play in that position, and still it shows in his playstyle today.
Oh. Love this pairing. It's so strong, man. Like, Razor is one of the heroes that benefits heavily by Marcy. Like, 1 point in rebound and you get 45% movement speed for 5 seconds. Static Link is never going to break in that sort of situation. You can dispose people out of cogs as well, so they don't have that level of lockdown too.
I mean, funny enough, that's literally an entire Razor skill. You know, move speed. I mean, sure, it's permanent, but it's
the best passive in the game.
It's the best passive in the game, yeah.
As I would say.
It's the best passive in the game.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, having that, even just for your lane skirmish, quite an incredible and powerful tool. My only issue with this Marcy is that, you know, early on, yes, rebound into just a simple dispose is going to be good enough to basically win you fights, right? But eventually there will come a time where Marcy just, like, explodes. And then, like, what, OG had, like, 17, 18 deaths on the Marcy in their win, right? Like, it's just a hero that dies a lot. So you'd like to eventually be able to play a little bit with the not the tag team, the
sidekick.
The sidekick, yeah. And I don't know if Razor's the best to utilize
out
of all the heroes. I mean, the bonus damage is great, don't get me wrong, but whenever I think of like the lifesteal heroes, I'm always like in the bonus damage, I'm like Ursa, I want like a PA. So that's my only downside, is I think this is very strong early, incredibly strong, and playing to that Razor's timing, but I think this Marcy's not going to have a great
I think they just want to crush the lane, basically, for LGD. So I'm wondering, like, what are the heroes that they're going to be able to pick that are going to prevent that from happening? Like, against a Razor, Pause 3, the ones that you think of are ones that have that mobility component. You can see that's why they're banning out the Morphling, potentially a Faceless Void, potentially a PA, but the worry is that you're just going to get run over before a PA really hits the timing that you need to be able to fight up into this. And, of course, if you're not going to be picking it early-ish, LGD are just going to go ahead and ban it, because that's the counter to the Razor's movement.
Right. Okay. Do you still believe in the Viper +5 though? Because usually that's pretty weak, not a mobile hero in the lane. Just feed to the Marcy Razor.
Yeah, but if you throw it into a Pause 3 roll, Razor, once you got the BKB, you're just going to run it down, and then that's what Viper's weak against, right? Okay. It's just you have no mobility. You're just going to get run down. So I think it is still just going to try and secure the lane for them in my...
And I think even if the lane is weak, you still have like the Viper Strike, right? You've got like a BKB piercing flow, which is always going to be nice versus the Razor. It's percentage based as well, which means really hard